Today I'm here to give my prediction and speculation for The Walking Dead Season 4, Episode 14, titled Grove. Now, this episode right here will test Carol's humanity and also see how much humanity will she lose in this episode. Because in this episode, Carol, my predicted speculations is I think Carol will have to do something very dark. This episode itself will be very dark. Probably one of the darkest episodes we're probably going to see throughout this season alone. Because, like I say, Carol is probably going to have to do something that she's probably going to regret in the long run. But maybe it benefits the safety of the rest of the people in the group. So let me get started. In this episode, my prediction and speculation for this episode, I think that Lindsay will somehow, I think it's going to be her fault, because I think Mika is going to die in this episode. We seen a promo and we seen Lindsay her leg was wrapped up in barbed wire and she couldn't move, and we seen a zombie coming right to her leg. I think her and Lindsay, because we do see another promo. Now I don't know if that promo was containing to her and Lindsay playing in that front yard, or maybe that was just some more people, just a metaphor the writers was using for this episode. But I'm gonna say it was Lindsay and Mika playing this episode, because in this episode the group does find shelter. And with this shelter, they hope to build a life there. But as you can tell, it gets overrun by zombies. Just like Daryl and Beth in the previous episode. They found the funeral home house. What they thought, Daryl said we can build a life here. What happened? Gets overran by zombies. So therefore, it's going to force them back on the tracks to go to the Internment / sanctuary place that was going to before. But yes, this place will get overran, and I can understand why they think this place is a sanctuary. Hell, the place even has a well, like a water well, like Herschel had in season 2 of his farm, where you can pump fresh water. Even has a well there that can pump fresh water. So I can see why they think it's a good place to stay. But like I say, it's definitely going to get overran. So back to what I was saying about Lindsay and Mika playing in the front yard. I think that attracts zombies when they was doing that. So a whole bunch of zombies starts to come in the yard. We can see, and I can see them running away, and they trying to get through a fence. But somehow Mika ends up getting stuck in a barbed wire while Lindsay escapes. And you can see how Mika is calling Carol. Now at this point, the promo try to make it look like Carol was actually there. Because let me explain to you what I mean by this. Sometimes they take audio from different characters and they put it in different scenes. Sometimes that audio don't really contain to that scene that they had took from the characters. Like for example, when they had a promo for the beginning of season 4, they had a promo and you can hear a woman saying help. Obvious, that was clear, the woman that was telling Rick to help her. The woman said help. But the audio was saying that, but Rick was in the prison. You can see Rick looking back in the prison, and you can hear Clara saying help. But it got revealed to us that wasn't the case, because Rick had found Clara outside in some woods. Clara was never in the prison. If you get what I'm going with this. So how could Clara say help, and Rick looks back in the prison? And Rick looks back at the prison when she was never at the prison. That's why I'm saying they take audio sometimes and they put it on different scenes and try to make it look like that audio go with that scene, but it actually don't. But back what I was saying, you can hear Mika saying help. Now my predicted speculations is I see Lindsay probably zoning out like she always do, because remember when she was smothering baby Judah, she zoned out. And she literally forgot she literally forgot she was smothering a baby. And therefore, like I say, Lindsay is dangerous. Now maybe she zones out when Nucky is right there screaming. I can see Lindsay just looking at her. and saying help, and she realized Milka don't. She realized that Lindsay is not going to help her, so she starts screaming for Carol. Maybe they're not that far from the house for her to be screaming for Carol, because anywhere in the world you can't make me believe Carol will be sitting right there while that child is wrapped up in barbed wire, about to get bitten by a zombie, and she just watched that child scream her name out like that. No, I think Lindsay. I think it's going to be Lindsay's fault why Milka died. So that right there was the first one. Also, in the promo, in the beginning of the promo, you can see Carol, you see Tyrese, you see Lindsay, you see Milka, you see them walking up, and you can see that it looks like Carol grabs it's two sticks sticking up. Look like shovels. You can see something sticking up out the ground, and it's two sticks look like they're by each other, and you can see Carol grabs on one of them. Maybe that's a shovel for some foreshadowing of her having to bury, of Carol having to bury Lindsay and Mika in this episode, because it is two shovels. It is two shovels. Well, it could be shovels. We don't know what it is yet, but we do see Carol grab on something in this promo. Look like some big old sticks hanging up or something. Also in this episode, we see somebody reaching for a gun. Now, at first I came up with the conclusion maybe maybe it was Lindsay reaching for the gun, because the way she was slowly reaching for it, I was like, man, for somebody, because she was probably scared in the way she was like hesitating, like reaching for it. But then I came to another conclusion. Maybe it's Carol. Maybe it's Carol, and she knows she have to put down Lindsay. That's what I think, and maybe she's struggling with that fact, because you can see once she gets the gun, it ain't Tyrese. That's a woman hand. Tyrese got big bulky hands. He got his hands look rough, and so it ain't Tyrese reaching for that gun on that table. But after that, you can see somebody sit down. You can see two hands on the table. In the way the hands is gripped on the table, you can tell that whoever it is, they struggling about their decision about doing something they probably going to regret. You can see the hand on the gun. You can see their right hand gripping the end of the table, or the side of the table. And like I say, I think they're right there. They're trying to come up with a decision on what to do. And like I say, it's not Lynn. I don't think that's Lynn. I think it's Carol. Like I say, Carol is struggling with the fact that she knows she have to put Lindsay down, but she's scared to do it because she's just a child. And the reason why I think Carol might have to put Lindsay down in this episode, probably, probably, just my predictions on this, probably that she might see Lindsay trying to kill Mika, or trying to harm. I'm sorry. Well, maybe she see Lindsay trying to harm Judith. Correction. Maybe she trying to see Lindsay trying to harm Judith, or maybe Lindsay might actually kill Judith in this episode, and Carol gonna have to put her down. And also in this episode, I think Carol will find signs of Lindsay killing some more animals. She might find some signs of that. And also, I think that the confession, I think that Carol might come out and tell Tyrese about what happened in this episode. And I think he might accept that fact. I'm not saying he's going to accept it happily. Happily, but like in a happy way. But no, I think he might go ahead and accept the fact what happened, and he might not harm Carol. But I definitely see Tyrese and Carol surviving this episode. And that's the reason why I think they're going to have the actress who plays Carol's character. The reason why I think they're going to have her on TV on the Talking Dead is to talk about her decision that she had to make about probably killing Lindsay. That's the reason I don't see Carol dying in this episode. Like I say, I do see her telling Tyrese, you know what, yes, I killed Karen, I killed David. Because you can hear Tyrese have some audio, and he's talking in his audio. Also, we see a promo with Tyrese and Lindsay sitting by the railroad tracks, and Lindsay is holding baby Judith, and Tyrese sees a zombie coming up, and we see them, and also in the main promo for the episode, we see them running. We see them running on the railroad tracks too. So I'm thinking the railroad tracks do probably get a whole bunch of zombies on it, so they have to escape the railroad track, and they probably end up running through the woods, and probably end up finding that abandoned house in the woods out there. So they definitely have to leave the railroad track in this episode. But yeah, I see Lindsay getting. I'm sorry to say it, but I see Lindsay getting put down, and I see Carol being the one to put her down, and maybe it's going to make Tyrese mad about the decision that she made, because Tyrese is a good person. Maybe he think it's hope for Lindsay to survive, or it's hope for her. She can be saved. But like I say, you got to think about Carol. Carol does whatever it takes to keep the group safe. If she burnt up Dave and Karen because they were sick, and she thought they was a risk to the group, and they could have got the rest of the group sick, and she burnt them up because of that, why she wouldn't kill Milk? I can understand her struggling with killing Milk. I mean, I can understand her struggling with killing Lindsay. I'm sorry if I said Milk. I can see her struggling because Lindsay is a child. But at the end of the day, it's all the same thing. If Lindsay lives, she's going to put the group at risk when they run back into the group at the sanctuary. So this right here is my prediction speculations for this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Have a nice day. God bless, and thumbs up the video. Do whatever you want. Peace.